So, Matt on my Facebook asked the question, how are you progressing on your novel? And I'm actually very pleasantly surprised that people still remember from going to school with me that I am indeed writing a book. So thank you for that, Matt. I have been trying to write the same book since I was 19. Um, you know, it doesn't have a title. I suck at trying to think of titles. What I like to do is just kind of write the bulk of the story, and then hopefully a title will come to me at the very end. It's not the most important thing to me right now. What's most important is the content. Um, but like I said, I started this when I was 19, and it's up to, I don't know, 20 something chapters, a couple hundred pages right now. It's been through many, many, many rough drafts, many rewrites. My writing style has changed over the years, so I have to keep going back to the earlier chapters, which were written maybe 5 years ago. Chapters 1 through 10 were written like 5 years ago. Um, I would go back and I would read it and I'd be like, man, I don't like this, it's so amateur sounding, I've improved so much since, I have to rewrite this. And that's just the type of person I am, that's the type of writer I am. If I can't be satisfied with it, I won't publish it. I know some people say, you just gotta get your stuff out there, but really, this is what is showcasing you, your talent. This is what you're putting out there and saying, this is me. So I want it to look really freaking awesome. Um, it's progressing slow. I've been put in the hospital 4 times this year, and before I was first put in the hospital, I had this notion, oh, I'm definitely going to get this book 1 finished. Um, by the end of the year, I only had 3 to 4 chapters left to write before it was finished and before I could just edit it and then hopefully look for a publisher. But then I got sick, and between being sick and me working all the time, it didn't seem to work out this year for me. So hopefully my health will improve and I can start picking up writing again. Um, Most of my writing has occurred over the weekend. Um, but some of it also happened during the week if I got a surge of motivation after work, which doesn't happen that often because I work long hours and I try to work overtime so I can, try to make up for these hospital bills and make up time for taking off and seeing the doctor. But sometimes I'll get that surge of motivation, and on the weekdays I'll try to write something. Might be only a few pages, but at least it's something. But so far that just hasn't been a possibility for me. I've been too sick, too worried about me and my health, and I think that comes first. Because if you can't be yourself, then your writing will reflect that. But all in all, I didn't have very much more to go. Only a few chapters. As far as what the book is about, I'm not going to tell you. I can tell you this. It's a suspense genre. It's also horror and fantasy. It's different. It's so hard for me to summarize it without giving too much away. But I try to make cliffhangers at the end of every chapter. I'm one of those type of writers. I don't ever want a dull chapter. I don't want a chapter just talking about somebody that got dressed in the morning and ate breakfast, unlike some books that have been published and popularized. I'm not going to be like that. Every chapter has to have a specific purpose and has to affect you, the reader, in some traumatic way. And that's what I'm aiming for. So, long process, a lot of work. I also do some scientific research inside of this whole process, so it'll take a while.